Hey, I am Izzy Noodles, welcome back to my Nomads walkthrough of Tomb Raider 3. Like I said last time, there is a poll for where you would like me to visit next, and that will close the moment Case of Kalia is uploaded. So today, I will be exploring the temple ruins. So let me take a moment to load up the game. Okay, so firstly, we've got to get into the temple. So right here there is a Medpack, and this level introduces snakes. So you don't want to get bit by snakes, because they will poison you. And if you get poisoned, your health will gradually go down. The only way to stop that is by using a Medpack. That was a little bit close, actually. Okay, so in this area there's also a shortcut. So if we come to here, we can see a lighter wall. We can jump to that wall and climb up, but it's actually sloped, so the moment you're sort of at the top, you want to jump off and you can grab the treetops. So that's a shortcut. You won't miss any secrets, but you'll miss a few items. And let me show you around the other side. So you want to be careful by the water, because there's piranha in the water. And on the left hand side of the screen you can see like the mud and the tree roots in the cliffside. There is a crawl space there for us to get into the temple, so we've got to get there first. So we're going to have to make our way around. We'll end up doing some jumps across the river you can't see for this plant. So once we get to doing the jumps, if you fall in the water, there's this passage down here that will lead you back out. So we will get to that, where that leads out, in a moment. Okay, so we've got this lever here by this second snake that I shot, and that has opened the hatch just down here. So this level is a lot darker than the first level, so I'll do my best to tidy that up without ruining the colours. Everything tends to go a bit yellow. Okay, so here's a Medpack, and this crawl space is where you will emerge if you went through the underwater passage if you fell down. So you will continue again from this point. Careful coming around the corner, there's another snake. Okay, and I mentioned in part 1 that that first level is the only one where the monkeys are friendly. So they are hostile from now on. They will attack you. So I'm going to grab a couple of items now in this corner. So hop up these steps, and there's nothing you can do about the camera angle, I'm afraid. Just going to have to deal with it. So we've got some MP5 clips and some shotgun shells. Okay, here we're going to make our way across the river so we can easily jump to this column, so you want to also be careful of the piranha again. Got a Medpack here, so just grab that. Okay, and down in the water there's a gate there, so to open the gate you want to pull a lever that's just on the right hand side. So I'm going to jump to this right, and I'm going to keep moving because the piranha can get you on that lower step. They got me. I didn't see them, but they must have got me. Sneaky little blighters. Okay, so if you're also wading in deep water like that, you can jump up, and that would fix the animation, unless you're just too deep in the water. Okay. So make your way down. The piranha can still get you. It's only when you get to the corner tile that they leave you alone. Okay, so now we're in this courtyard type area. A monkey there, and it's these tiles on this side that trigger this monkey here. Okay. So we're going to climb up and make our way around to an opening on the top just there. You can't really see it, it blends in pretty good, but it's pretty much right above Lara's head. Somewhere around there. Okay. So we're going to use these broken columns to get on up. Okay, straight on up to here. And we do have some Uzi Clips just here. And now use the slope. You can only come along this flatter part of the slope and to here as well. And you can get to the top of the slope. You're not supposed to. So I know one way to get up is to do a corner bug on to the top of the columns, and then you can jump around. And there's actually a water tile up there, so you're not supposed to actually go up there to be able to see it. But I think they do place random water tiles, like textures, where you can't see them, so that it makes the water act as it should. I think that's what it is. So if you want to have a look, then you can try and make your way up there. Okay, and here's the opening, but before I go through there, I'm just going to make a jump over to here to grab some more Uzi Clips. Okay, and I always struggle on the jump back. So you want to be kind of left of the tile line. Oh, okay. Failing hardcore today, yeah. So as I said, I do miss that one a lot. I should have veered a bit more from that spot. Okay, we made it. So there will be a monkey come around the corner. So I've lost quite a bit of health already, that's pretty annoying. Okay, so across there, that's actually the starting point. So if you took the shortcut to the treetops, that is where you will be. So we're going to continue from here, but before I do, I'm going to collect a couple of items that are in the treetops. So one of them is important, and one of them is not so important. So one is Desert Eagle Clips, and the other is flares. So firstly, I'm going to go for the Desert Eagle Clips. The jumps to here aren't too bad, pretty simple enough, but they're a bit trickier to get to the flares. Okay, and you don't want to be too high up to the right hand side jumping from here, because you can easily overshoot. Okay, this next jump, you want to be at this higher point. Gonna do a running jump to that branch, but you don't want to grab. If you do grab, she just won't grab, and then you'll fall down. So that's one of these strange jumps. They can happen from time to time, but they're quite rare. But you don't want to grab on this next jump, and you will definitely make it. Have faith. Okay, so to get back, just walk into this corner. On the right hand side, that slope you cannot stand on, but straight in front you can stand on this slope. So that's why you want to be in the corner, so she doesn't step up onto it. So from the corner, do a running jump back, and again, do not grab. There we go. Alrighty, let's continue. So some of these jumps are easy enough to see, but some of them are not so easy. And you can also see now, you can see the crawl space where we will enter the temple. Okay, just hop this gap. Grab this Medpack. Okay, so let me also point out that you can just do a running jump down to that gravel area. You'll take a lot of damage and it's probably quicker, but I won't be doing that for obvious reasons. I don't want to take the damage. And also it seems as though there's a lot of places to go in this area, but there's really not. There's only maybe 2 ways to go around this waterfall. So you can actually go around the other side of this tree trunk in front of me. That's pretty much the only difference. So anyway, for this next jump you want to be in this corner and do a standing jump with a grab to slide into that gap. And another jump with a grab here so that we can grab the edge of this. Gonna shimmy along. And just here it looks as though you can drop down, but that's actually slopes. You'll slide into the water, so you don't want to do that. Climb up, do the shotgun shells, and then continue along this way. Okay, there is a monkey as well. Okay, I got it. I just saw it do a backflip. And drop down if you want some extra flares. You might want them if you're on the PlayStation. It gets kind of dark. So be careful behind the waterfall because there is a snake hiding in the dark. Overshot. Okay, and just climb back up and you can make your way through that crawl space now. So you do want to be on the left hand side because there's a snake hiding in the grass on the right. And you can easily just run straight past that. There's another one here, not so easy to avoid. I have seen some people just sprint straight by it, but I don't have the guts to do that. Okay, and for this next slope, you want to be on the right hand side. There is a boulder that will fall down on the left, and there is a flat space just there, but you don't have enough time to jump out of the path of the boulder. And now in this room, it seems like a bit of a dead end. We've got this really cool statue here. So these are more commonly known in the game as Shiva statues. So Shiva, the auspicious one, is one of the 3 gods in the Hindu Trinity, which consists of Brahma, who is the creator of the universe, Vishnu, the preserver or maintainer, and then Shiva is the destroyer of the universe. This is in the sense that the universe is destroyed in order to recreate it and start anew, paving the way for beneficial change. So that's quite cool how they interpret different gods in this. So Shiva is the more commonly known version of this statue. So I've just picked up some shotgun shells there as well. And if you don't have the shotgun, that will be the shotgun instead of ammo. We can also move this block. If you have a look around with the flare, you might notice that this is slightly different. So just pull it out of the way and that opens up access to a crawl space. And there is also more shotgun shells in this dark corner behind it. Oop. Okay, so in we come. And the moment I step off this tile, this statue in front of me will come to life. So that's a scary aspect of the game. Some people find that pretty creepy that they come to life. So it does block with its swords. Make sure its swords are open and you are doing damage. You want to try to get it to attack you. And then it opens up and it's vulnerable. So you do kind of want to get close, but you want to keep moving. Okie dokie. So on Stella's site, which is the go-to site for Tomb Raider information, it doesn't actually mention Shiva, but it does mention Yaksha, which are a class of nature spirits which are usually benevolent but are sometimes mischievous, and also known as capricious caretakers of the natural treasures hidden under the earth and tree roots. They appear in Buddhist, Jain and Hindu texts, as well as appear in ancient temples in parts of Asia, where they are depicted as guardian deities. The Yaksha also has dual personalities. It can be a nature fairy associated with woods and mountains, or it can be a form of restless spirit that haunts the wilderness and devours travellers. So that's a very different description from the Shiva statue, the god Shiva. Anyway, back to the game. So we've got this gate here that we want to open, and it's got a keyhole either side of it. So we need to do 2 challenges to get a key. So we've got one to the left, one to the right. It doesn't matter which one we do first, but I will firstly open both of the gates. So to open this left-hand gate, just come up to this section and pull both levers. Okay, that is open. Okay, and the lever to open this gate is actually underneath this hatch here. So step on this odd tile. So that will open the hatch, and we have access to the lever. While we're down here, we also have the opportunity to get a secret. So just grab this block that's here and give it a push. And that opens up a secret room. Nice. So there are poison dart traps in this room, so you want to be careful not to get poisoned if you want to do the no meds challenge. And the first item is down in this hole. You want to be careful grabbing this, because the moment we drop in, a boulder will come and squash us. So to get it, make sure you are all the way forward. Tap the forward button and pick it up as quick as you can, and then get out. If you've not lined yourself up to grab it, just get out of the hole. Don't waste time trying to readjust, because there is no time. Just abort. Leave it behind. Okay, so the next item is underneath the path of these darts. So just crawl underneath. And the last item is just around here. Okie dokie. So you are better off crawling just to be on the safe side. It's a little long-winded, but at least it's safer. Okay, so as I've said, it doesn't matter which challenge you do first. I always prefer to do this one first. No idea why, I just do this one first all the time. Okay, couple of monkeys, get rid of them. And we've noticed we've got this big hole in the room, so there is a gate there. And there is a lever on the wall, so Tomb Raider players will acknowledge that this is an underwater lever. So if they've not played a game before, you will know that this section will need to be flooded before we can pull this lever. We cannot pull this lever unless there is water. So that is a hint of what we're doing. That is the challenge. The lever will open the gate, and behind the gate is the key. So that's what we're doing. So if we're up in the water, we can see there is this gate, so we need to open the gate. The lever to do so is right here. We do have these flame traps, but as long as you are on this middle tile with the lever, the flames will not get you. And be careful once you are swimming through the tunnel, there is a dart trap going all the way through, so you want to aim low down. And careful again once you are in the room, just try and swim carefully to one side and surface, because the ceiling is caving in and it can give you a good smack on the head and you will die. So I've got a Medpack on that left side, and it's the right hand side we want to be on. No, Medpack is on the right, we want to be on the left. So come on over, mind the darts. So we can see this looks like a ladder. And we've got the ledge behind, jump to that. And first time players will probably not know where to jump to. The ledges do seem to blend in very well, but we're jumping to here. And then to here. And then this up above is grabbable. We can jump up and climb up this. Okay, and then run and jump to... I'm kind of stuck, there we go. Okay, you can probably see where we're heading. Over here you might be able to do a half tile jump, the walk jump, but run and jump might be easier for first time players, and you might want to veer a little bit so that you don't just fall down over the edge. Okay, and next we're heading over to where the snake is. So you do have just enough time to hop back against the wall and then shoot the snake with the pistols. But my preferred method is a shotgun to the face. Nice. Okay, here, once we jump to here, we will activate a boulder. There's two ways to avoid it. You can run on in and either run left or right, or just hop back, make sure you hold on to the edge, wait for the boulder to pass by. So if you do opt for the option of running to one side out of its path, just be careful of the dart traps that are here. And also there's these blades as well, so you can easily crawl underneath all of that. Grab another Medpack. And let me just point out, straight down below we can see a load of spikes, so clearly we don't want to fall down there. But actually, there is a secret down there. So I won't get that just yet. I'm going to get that once I've done what I need to do up here and then return. Do a running jump across the other side. If I hop back on this left hand side, this blade does not get me, but if you see the blade on the right hand side, if I was stood to the right where I am now, that blade will hit Lara in the back and do damage. So you want to make sure you are on this left hand side. Okay, now we're over here. This seems like a bit of a dead end. If you light a flare, you can see that this block is different, and you can kind of see it glitching a bit anyway. So this is what we're doing. We want to give this block a push. Okay, so that's as far as it's going to go, and we're still stumped really, but you can still see this block on the right hand side as well, glitching a little bit. If you light a flare, you should be able to see that it looks slightly different to everything else. So if in doubt, light a flare and it will light up odd things. So we're going to push this block as far as it will go. Okay, at the end now. So if we go down this way, we will be chased by a couple of boulders. We'll have to jump over a spike trap as well, and that will actually lead high above the area with the water where the ceiling caved in with the dart trap. So that's actually a return path. So we don't want to go down there because we've not done anything yet. So what are we doing? Well, let me tell you that all these blocks on the right hand side, these 4 blocks, are all movable. So this one here, this is the one I pushed first to get into this area. So we're going to ignore this. We don't need to do anything with this. So these 3 blocks along, we've got left and right. Behind all of them is a hollow space. We can push them all in. Behind the middle one is a lever that we want to get to. So you want to push in the left and right blocks. So what I'm doing here is I'm creating a space that the middle block can be pushed into. So we have this space now, but we need to still be able to push the block. So push the block on the opposite side of it. Awesome, and now we have a place to actually stand in order to push the block. And here is the lever. So that area is now flooded. We've done what we came to do, and we can go back and pull that lever and get the key. So remember I mentioned that secret. So I'm not going to go back along the return path that I pointed out. I'm going to come and get the secret. So obviously you don't want to hop straight down onto the barbed spikes. They will kill you. On the right hand side that is slope and you'll stumble into the barbed spikes, and that will kill you. What you want to do, there is one safe tile space you can land in. So do a running jump back, and you want to drop down right here. This is the only tile you can land on. So carefully walk through the spikes. You can walk through spiky things without taking damage. And then crawl on in. So you do take a little bit of damage. I'm not certain why. It's like it's not the crawling that damages you. It's going into the animation of the crawl. Kind of weird. Okay. And now we do have a snake. Be careful. Okay. Deaded. So here's our secret items. Nice. So this has brought us back over the area where the ceiling caved in, and we can just see the darts down below as well. So as you hop down, careful not to land in the path of the darts, and be a little high up because these the broken ceiling parts actually do catch you as well, so that's kind of annoying. See what I mean? I can't go forward. And you want to be low down so that you can avoid the darts. Okie dokie. Nice. So let's pull the lever. And grab the key. So this is a key of Ganesha. We will need the second one as well. So that's also called a key of Ganesha. There's a few with the same name, but they don't all do the same thing. So we want 2 for this puzzle, and then we'll have some later on for a different puzzle, but they will all be called Key of Ganesha, so don't get confused. Okay, and now heading on to this challenge. So we do have some swamp water down below. You need to do a running jump to get some extra distance. You see how quick the breath bar is going down in the quicksand, the swamp. So that is why you need to jump, to get the extra distance. Okay, as we come on in, it seems like we've got a dead end, but if you turn around, there we go, that's the path. Monkey there, he will steal the Medpack, and these monkeys don't just drop the Medpack somewhere else, they will continue to hold on to it and you will have to kill it to get the item. So now just pull this lever, which will open this door, and we've got a bit of a challenge just here. So you see we've got the blade straight ahead, and we'll need to sprint through here because the walls will cave in from either side, they'll move inwards and they are spiked. So you want to sprint straight through here. So to minimize damage from that blade, you want to start running when you hear it make the sound. So when you're ready, when you hear on the sound, start running with a sprint. So I did take some damage. It's pretty tricky to not ever take damage there. Okay, couple of monkeys. And in this room, we firstly want to pull this block to allow us to reach a higher ledge. So if we place it right here, we have access to 2 areas without moving it all over the place. So we have the chance to get a secret, so that's what I'll do first. I'm going to jump up to this left hand side for the secret. Okay, and we can jump up and climb up here. So it's a pretty dark secret. So we do have some shotgun shells. If you do not have the shotgun, this will be the shotgun. We also have MP5 clips. Also, there is this lever. So that's shown as a door, so Tomb Raider logic tells us that if you pull a lever or do something and you are shown a door or whatever, then you need to do another action in order for that door to close, or to open, I mean. So we need to do something else to open that. So that's actually another secret. So if you go there and pull the other lever to open that secret door at that destination, and you haven't pulled this lever in here, you cannot open up that secret. You need to pull this lever to also get that secret. So just remember that if you want all the secrets. So getting down, you will take a tiny bit of fall damage. Doesn't matter too much though. There we go. Okay, so I think I've gone the long way round. Yes, I did. So if you're having a look around, hopefully you will spot this lever. And we can see that that is right above me. So that's where we're heading to now. So hop on in. Once you hop down, you cannot return from here. I've got a lever directly down below. This will just open the door so that I can move on from where I am right now. So that door is right here. And above there will be a hatch that I need to open with 2 levers. So this can be tricky when you're first playing. It's not obvious where the hatch is. So this is the first lever, and the other one is directly across, opposite. Because yeah, you might think that one of them others on to the right hand side of me now will open. I remember I had some trouble figuring this out the first time I played. So now just swim back a bit through the tunnel and up to the hatch. Okie dokie. So in this room you see we've got the big dark things on the walls. Those are actually burners. We've got a lever under there and a lever opposite under there in the water. So pulling them levers will turn on the burners. So you don't have to do that. I'll explain more about that in just a moment. But first I'm going to get that last secret. Is it the last one? I don't remember. But ahead of me down in the water, that's the gate that I was shown when I pulled that lever in the previous secret. So here is the lever right just here. The second lever. If I pull this and nothing happens, I've not pulled the other lever. So let me first make sure I've got air. And this is timed. And let's do this. So you need both levers pulled to come inside. And quite often, for some reason, the secret chime sometimes doesn't sound until you're leaving the room. I don't know why, but don't panic. You've got the secret. Okay, so I was also explaining the other levers and these burners. So you don't need to do anything on that side over there, but let me just pull this lever. Actually, first let me get out. I'll explain a bit more while I'm out of the water. So straight in front of me, we've got some invisible blocks. You can kind of just see the right hand edge of one of them. So you don't need the burners, but now let me pull the lever. So you really don't have to pull the levers. So the flames are now active. And they illuminate the invisible blocks. So these are always here. You don't need to pull the levers, as I've said. It just illuminates them so you can see them better. So we're going to use these to get across to this middle section. And we've got another lever. So this one will open this door down here. It is timed. What is Tomb Raider without timers? When you're ready, give it a tug. So it's not too tight, you can easily just run straight in. But then the door will close behind you. So what have we got inside? So behind this gate, we've got the key that we need. Can you see it? I do not know. Everything's a bit pixeled. We want to open that gate to get the key, so what's on the other side? You can't see too well, but it's a spiked wall, so that's annoying. So we've got that to deal with. We've got this lever. Once we pull the lever, the gate will open, and we'll be able to grab the key, but it will also activate the wall. When you're ready, you'll want to roll onto the key to save over sprinting, over shooting the key, and once you pick it up, the gate will open. If you want some extra items, you can go back in once the wall has gone past. We've got some items that were sitting behind the spiked wall. Okie dokie. And now we can return. We have our 2 keys. So you want to grab the save crystal if you're on the PlayStation, And we can see that everything's changed. So the ceiling's actually caved in and this water has become like quicksand. If you go down the center, you'll actually sink and drown. You want to stick either to the very left or the very right. So she won't go under the surface of the water then. And also the ceiling caves away. So if you're all the way to one side, that is how to avoid that as well. Okay, straight up to here, graceful jumps. Okay, come to the left for some flares. And straight forward, on the second step, we will activate a boulder. So some skilled players might be able to do a swan dive over the top of that. But otherwise, just activate it and run. So second step, just roll onto it and off, and back to safety. Okay. And here we actually have the choice of two paths to take. So the left-hand path has a blade trap, and then you will be chased by a boulder, and you'll have to get through the crawl space before it squashes you. But the right is a little easier. All we got is a monkey to thwart us. And that rumbling is the boulder on the other side. There it is, that's the crawl space you would come out of on the other side. So this is where the paths would meet. So it's really not worth it when all you have to do is pull the lever. What are you doing, Lara? Okay. Oh, that was a little more hassle than it seemed. So we've got two monkeys. One of them has a Medpack. If you happen to be able to grab the Medpack before the monkey, it will be on this left-hand side down here. Grab this crystal. And now we're going to head down there. But be careful at the end because there is a huge drop. So you might be able to see now where we are. We're back in a familiar place. We'll take a little bit of damage here. So here we are, we're back where we fought that Shiva statue. So I do always call them Shivas. It just seems like a huge habit, like everyone just calls them Shiva. Regardless of what they might be considered as. Okie dokie. So here we've got a bit of a challenge as well. So we want to hop forward, jump up the ladder, and the ceiling is actually coming away slowly. It's a spiked ceiling that's slowly coming down. So we want to try and get to the top before that stops us from getting there. Also, is there an also? I don't think so. Oh, grabbing the wall. You want to jump up and then grab. Because if you hold action and jump up, you don't get as much height. And this can also be tricky to not take damage. I've done it though. Okay, a couple of monkeys, got a crystal. And now we want to get this gate open. We've got two levers up the top which we want to pull to open that. And if you light a flare, you'll spot that this block here is different to the rest. So we want to pull this out, and this will help us to get to the higher ledges. So just run and jump to the ledge. One lever. Two lever. Okie dokie. So for the next part, you can either hang from this ledge right in front of me, or just run straight across the path of the door, because we got them two boulders that come through the doorway. So head on in. You want to drop into this gap for the gates to open so that you can move on. Okay, wait for the flame. So the closer you are to the wall, to the flame projector, the less likely you are to be set on fire if you're to one side. Okay, now grabbing my shotgun because we've got some more statues. That got a bit crazy. Wow, I had no idea what was going on. So I wasted a few shots. It got me, but I'm okay. So this particular Shiva dropped a scimitar. So there is another interpretation for these statues. There is Kali, who is the Hindu goddess whose earliest appearance is that of a destroyer of evil forces. Over time she's been worshipped as the Divine Mother, or Mother of the Universe, among many other things, and is seen as a divine protector, and one who can bestow liberation. Kali can also mean time, or the fulfillment of time, in a sense that time is a changing aspect of nature that can bring life and death. Appointed time, like the time of one's death, can be interpreted as well. So this is similar to the god Shiva, and Shiva is actually Kali's spouse, yet out of all of these potential representations of the temple guardians here in the game, Kali is the only one whose weapon is the scimitar. Though I believe Kali had 4 arms, and it is the god Shiva that has 6, so maybe this is like a joint interpretation of the two gods, god and a goddess. So what do you think? What do you interpret these as? So it's very interesting. Kali does seem to be the closest with the scimitar representation. Anyway, up on this column we've got some shotgun shells. And we can see that we got another door we need to open. But what do we do now? You need to actually have a look around to have the next action triggered. This is one of the only times you really need to trigger an action. If we climb up here, this next statue comes to life. So usually I get 2 shots. It was quick. While I'm up here, you can see that there is this statue that is missing 2 swords. So this is also a hint of what we're doing. So I have 1 sword. Okay, that was easier. Okay, so grab this statue's sword as well. And while I'm here, we can grab an item down in this water. And now hop back up to place the 2 scimitars in this statue up here. So sometimes as well, if you press action to select the item to place, if I select this, because I know this will do the thing.
No.
She said no. So each item, even though it's the same, has specific receptacles. So sometimes the correct item is not initially selected. So just go to the other scimitar and then she'll place that. Alrighty, the gate is open. So this time we can hop into this gap to collect an item. There's no trigger here to close the gates so that we can move on. We can just go ahead and leave. So we've got a path left and right. Doesn't matter which one you choose. But you may as well come this way around, because otherwise you're just choosing the longer path. There's no items that you're missing out on by choosing the shorter path. Okay, up into here. And there's these two guys. There's two guys in here, but there's no Infada stone. It's not here. It should be, but it's not. So we just gotta leave now then. So what we gotta do, there is a gate over in the dark left-hand corner, and there's 3 keyholes around that corner as well. So we gotta do 3 little challenges to collect a key, and then we can leave and end the level. So first one's pretty easy. Actually, let me show you before I start. There's some flares here. So you'll probably have to crawl to get these. And if I come to the wall and have a look, we can see that this guy has been sliced right down the middle. So the statue definitely got him. And this guy. This guy has a hole in his chest. You can see right through him. What happened here? Anyway, first challenge. We got 1 key sitting right here. The moment you approach it, this statue comes to life. So you can avoid this statue by getting the other keys first, and then just grab the key here and just get out of here. Ignore the statue and try and do it as quick as possible. I don't know if it got me, I don't think so. It got me. Please die. Finally, thank you. Okay, first key. Okay, it doesn't matter what order you pick the keys up in. So this next challenge, I'm going to save my game because I haven't saved, and this spot can get me. So I've practiced before and done it quite easily without using any save crystals, without saving my game. But last time I recorded, I've been having so much bad luck trying to record this, just making silly mistakes, getting poisoned. One time, one of the Shiva statues actually killed me. No, it didn't. I had 1 pixel of health left, but everything else was like a rip run because there's force damage to be taken as well. And the last time I recorded, I got to here, and this is what got me. So I'm saving it. Anyway, so you want to approach this door and it will open, and then back up a little bit so that you've got a run up with a sprint. So it's pretty dark in here, you'll need a flare. The moment you enter, the ceiling will start coming down with a spike trap, so you need to pull 2 levers in here when you're ready. Take your hand off the sprint. Put in a little extra time. That came out not quite right. Okay, go, 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 go. Okay. Didn't take any damage. Yeah, take your hand off the sprint with enough time so that you don't just bang into the wall. If you know what I'm trying to say. Am I making sense? Okay, this is progress. We got this now. Finally recorded this. I was trying to do this for a whole week. We're only in the jungle. Okay, so you can see on the right hand side, those were the receptacles for the keys. And the last key is just down here. So, if I have a look down there, You can see the key is sitting right there. But once we hop down, there will be a current that will grab you and try and drag you towards a spiked wall. There's 2 levers that we need to pull to stop the current. So hop on down, pick a side, doesn't matter which one, and pull the first lever. Okay, so now come all the way up to the far wall. You want to be sure you're all the way up here because you will keep being dragged. So you want that distance. And then, next lever. And now there is no current, we are free to swim about. So if you have been struggling and you need to grab some breath before picking up the key, then go for it. Alrighty! So now we can place the keys and we can leave, and we got another video in the bag. So at this point, this is where you could, if you want to avoid the Shiva statue, go grab that key and just run around and place the keys and leave. But now I'm so pleased. I'm really pleased I finally got this recorded. Alrighty, let's get out of here. Okie dokie, so these are my final statistics, and that was Tony there that we saw on the raft, and he had the Infada stone, did you notice? It was actually stabbed into his chest. So if you remember the other guy in the temple, either Randy or Rory, that's who they were at the end, he had a hole in his chest. So maybe he had originally managed to use the stone, and the Shiva stopped them maybe? Don't really know what happened in the temple. But, well, now Tony has the stone. So, next level, we're going after Tony. We want the stone. Yes, and that was also him trying to squash Lara as well. That was the power of the stone that he was using. So anyway, I will see you next time. Take it easy, guys and girls.